All right, I finally got the tube sockets in the mail, and they are Bakelite, so that's probably what held it up. Bakelite is slightly radioactive. But anyway, I got the sockets, and this is how I mounted it. And you can make an adapter socket with just wires, okay? But I wanted to be able to grab this and wiggle it out of the socket. Okay, that's why I made it this way. And it will stick up a little bit above the hatch plate. I'll have to operate it with the hatch plate off. I need this room down in here for components. All right, and the next step is, of course, you wire up the heater, and it's two wires. You come up off of here to there, and it's a 12-volt tube. You put it in, you make sure it lights. The next step would be to tie the cathode to ground, and put the crystal on it and the voltage to the plate, and then see if the crystal oscillator section works. And then all you have to do is bias grid number 2 in a certain way that the input signal from this IF on this radio goes in here, mixes with the crystal, and comes out as 455. Now, there is another way to do it. You could use a NE602. Now, this circuit here is an SA612. Basically, they're the same IC chip. The NE602 will operate, if you put a resistor up in here, you can operate it at 9 volts. And this is what I might wire up first. Okay, I could do it on one of those solderless breadboards in between the two radios. This is just a project to see how narrow this will actually make a signal by supplying it with a signal. Now I could do it other ways. I have my other radio that's in an ammo can. I could run 2 wires out of that over to this and see how much more narrow it makes it. There's so many different things, but right now we have August heat in July. It's just the way everything's going, okay? Finally, certain people are saying it is global warming. It's too late, guys. You can't fix the problem. There are too many people in the world, and they're not going to cooperate. And that's what I'm seeing. And I want to tell you a real quick story, and it might actually end up as a long story. But I was coming out of the dollar store, and there's a long parking lot that I have to walk diagonally over. And when it's steaming hot, that parking lot really heats up. You're talking about 106 degrees over that parking lot. And I start walking, and this guy comes out of a car, and he stares at me. I thought I knew him at first, and he goes, "I'm really angry." And I go, "Oh, here we go." See, I have that face, and I'm not shaven. I look like I'm homeless, okay? I just got done mowing the lawn. I'm soaking wet. And this guy starts talking to me, and he's all upset about Biden. And I said, "Did you vote for Trump?" He goes, "No, he's a Democrat." I said, "Well, you know neither party's going to fix anything, you know?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." I said, and he's going, they both go down the same path. I said, "They're not going to help you or I." And the reason is there's too many problems. They got to look out for corporations. It's all fixed. The fix is in. And he was saying how they both go down the same road. I said, well, basically, they're different sides of the same coin. And I said, I'll tell you the secret of life. You got to get up every morning, and you got to have something you want to do, and you go do it. And you don't pay attention to any of the things in life that you can't change. Okay? You're going to have enough problems with yourself. And I told him, I said, you're going to have idiosyncrasies, things you can't. I said, I've tried fixing certain problems I have, and you fall back. You fall back like people that become overweight. The odds are them losing the weight is next to none. Okay, they're going to be fat the rest of their life. Once you enjoy eating, and the fat cells are born in your body, they're going to make you hungry when you're really not. But anyway, you gotta look at what you're all about. You got to understand the way your mind works, and you got to get up every morning and do something you want to do. And I sort of do that, but I got hit with this hot weather, and it started early, and this is how it goes now. Summer comes earlier, a month earlier, and stays a a month later. And you can see it with the heating bill, okay, on that chart. Well, anyway, so in other words, I got hit with the heat, and there's certain things I'm trying to get done. I told you I've been cleaning the house out. I have it down to where a person in good physical shape could take everything out of this house in 4 hours. That's what I was shooting for. Now, every week, 100 pounds of crap goes out in the garbage thing. And I have another 100 pounds again. And I went in the shed, and I started looking at stuff I had. And I had a $50 broom, and it was for a metal steel bristle broom. A real good one for construction work. I gave it to one guy. In return, he was cleaning the house out. He took a bunch of stuff from me to recycle metals and stuff like that. So I got rid of that. But I was telling this guy, I said, you got to really understand yourself. And you got to get down to what do you really want to do every day. And then do it. And that's how you'll be happy. You can't fix the world. It's too late. You're not going to get cooperation of people. I can't get cooperation of people not to throw litter on the street. So what I do is once a week, I go out with a bag and I pick up all the garbage in all the streets and make it look nice. Okay? And if I keep it nice, it sort of stays nice. But there are still 2 or 3 people that are filthy pigs. Okay? And you can walk up to them and threaten to give them a fine or what. You can't punish those people anymore. They're miserable people. That's why when I was walking with my neighbor, he's going, they should do something about that guy. I said, that guy's so miserable. How much more do you want to punish him? Well, what do you mean? I said, he's not happy, is he? No. Well, how much punishment do you want to give the guy? Getting up every day and being a miserable son of a bitch. Okay? Well, you want to put him in a jail cell? That way he has an excuse. See, I'm miserable because they got me in jail. Let him be himself, and he suffers every day. You don't have to punish him. And I'm telling this guy, and he's like, "Ooh, you think a lot like I do." I said, "I'm telling you, the only change you got to make is try to find something you really like to do and get up every morning and go do it." And I said to him, I said, "You got a park near you? Get up and walk at park. You'll find people that are just like you. And you'll stand there and talk to them and you exchange ideas. But in the end, you can't fix anything. It's over with, And that's what I tell him. I said, I can't. There is no magic answer. Okay, you just have to get up every day and find something you like to do. And a lot of people, their health is failing, so they get up every day and they got to take their medicines and and they sit outside and they can only do certain things. You got to strike while the iron's hot. And I told you I was walking with this neighbor, and he's overweight, he's got high blood pressure, and he's diabetic. And I got all messed up walking with him because he walks real fast like he's in good shape. He's not in good shape. He walks faster than I can walk. And my thing was I'd go out for long periods of time and stop and talk to people. And that's my thing. I like talking to people, and I like going to yard sales. And I took my neighbor with me, and it was too windy for him. And he starts acting like a little girl. And he's waving his hands, and I don't like this. Blah, 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 blah. He wanted to go with me. And I quickly hit this one booth at the yard sale, and I got some hats from this woman that I knew. But he ruined it for me. So I weaned him off. I don't walk with him. I let him go walk by himself. And he's not walking as far as he used to. And he's gaining weight. He's supposed to be losing weight. By the way, I understand people, and I understand myself. And I want to tell you, in a project, when you first get an idea, okay, let's change this. Let's mix the frequency and make it go into this to see if it's narrower. That's fun. And finishing it'll be fun. Or seeing the results will be fun. But right now, I waited for the tube socket. That put the wet blanket on it. And you get to the middle of the project, and that's where you start to say, this isn't any fun. Okay? But thinking about the next project, it's fun. But I stay with something, and I do a little bit on it each day. And some days I don't touch it at all. But I know this will work, because I built this circuit several times already in different radios. And the reason I didn't go in an NE602 was because I wanted to see how it could be done back in the old days. And then I started realizing every one of these command radios article starts the same thing. you gut the radio. You take certain things out that you won't use, and in some cases they take the BFO out, that's a mistake. But I was looking at these articles, and somebody started an article, and then other people mirrored it, copied parts of it, and I'm like, that's a bad idea, but that doesn't matter. They got it published, they got paid for it, and then other people repeat it like parrots. And if you go on one of the conferences and say, look, you can do everything you want to do to command radio without harming it, making it look original. Maybe one person will listen to you. The rest all parrot. Wah, you gotta gut it first. Wah. And this is what I realized a few years back about how people are. And with the COVID shots, what I do, I walk up to someone and I say, did you get your shots? And they say, no, I don't want the shots. So you know what? I have to go. I'll talk to the guy for a couple sentences and then I go. Okay? If you fall for the, it's going to die out on its own and all that, I think 600,000 people died. And I have people in my neighborhood that say, they just died from something else and they marked it. You got to hear this nonsense, okay? And then a lot of them in the neighborhood, they got it. And they were viciously sick and they were lucky, they did get their taste of smell, their smell and their taste back. And I still wear my mask. You go in the stores now, it's like it never happened, okay? They want you to get back to buy, okay? Because life is a pyramid scheme. And that's how it works. And we're running out of resources. The pyramid is going to fall apart. And whether it falls apart in my lifetime or they keep it going, but in other words, it's all bullshit. Okay, that's why if you can get up every day and go do what you want to do, that's the secret. Okay. Now, as far as pyramid schemes, my father used to say, "Oh, Social Security is nothing but a pyramid scheme. It can't be sustained." I said, "Yeah, it can be sustained." I said, and Reagan figured out how to keep it going a little longer. You raise the age to where nobody makes it to, so you pay in all those years, and then you never collect your money. Now, I got my money out because I learned from my father. He made several checks and then he died. But he kept saying, it can't be sustained, it's a pyramid scheme. It can work because if you set the age where nobody makes it, the money just comes in and it works like an insurance policy. It's like when they pay out, they really don't like paying out. But they have it set up that they take in a bunch of money and they only give a little bit out and they give you a really hard time giving you what they promised you, okay? That's why if you have a fire in your house, the first thing you do is you get a lawyer. Okay, a guy taught me this years ago. He says, don't believe anything they tell you. Get a lawyer and you're going to get more money and you're going to get canceled. The insurance company's not going to want you because you're not one of their stooges. But I just wanted to show you this and give you some advice on life. And I do bump into people and it's pretty interesting. But this is a project that I like to think about. And then I said, why didn't somebody else do that? This beacon radio was around. It's got a real narrow IF, and if you hook it to any radio, I wanted to say BC348. I have one of those, and they show you come out of the BC348 out of the 455 IF. You go through this radio, and it makes the radio narrower for ham radio operation. And nobody they did that, but nobody ever come off of one of these. And then also this radio here, this is a BC 454. A lot of people screwed with the knobs and the dial to make it band spreaded. The 80 meters would be band spreaded. And it doesn't fix the problem that the radio's too wide. I look at these articles, it's lipstick on a pig. Okay? They got a whole article and it really has no real sizzle or steak. It's all sizzle, no steak, lipstick on a pig. And that's what a lot of these old projects are in the magazines. A lot of them, when you really build it, you're like, this isn't that good. I built so many projects. That's why when I wrote my first project, I really thought about it for a while. I come up with a way that you take the serial card, parallel serial card that goes in a computer, and you pull it out, and it's got an empty socket, an empty UART socket. And you build these little headers, and you put your projects on the back of that header and stick it in the UART and then call up a certain address and you can read data in through that card. You could do all kinds. You measure temperature. And I really got the project working and I had it reading the temperature outside from my computer and from my bulletin board. So when people come in, they'd actually get a thermometer in graphics, ANSI graphics, on the screen of the outside temperature. And I had guys that wanted the program. They were screaming at me, calling me up. It was a nightmare. But anyway, after I used it a while, then I submitted it to a magazine. And I had other, the magazine changed names. But in other words, in the middle of all this, it changed name. I had so many projects running stepper motors and all that off this serial parallel board that went in an AT computer. And as time went by real quick, people switched to Windows. People weren't writing in BASIC anymore. People went to Quick Basic, and it still worked. You can't, it's very hard to catch up and stay with things. Plus, like I said, the magazine changed names. They changed what they were going to carry. I got 2 articles published, and now I had enough. Okay, what you got to go through to get it published and the whole thing. But I've been through the ringer on a lot of things. But this is what I'm doing. You know, I'm just curious. How narrow is this? You know, they're all up there. Get yourself a BC 453 and it'll make it narrower. Well, how narrow? You know, and they do have articles that tell you, I think it's 3 kilohertz wide, this bandwidth of this IF. You know, but where are the skirts? You know, I've done other videos which I deleted. I explained skirts and all that to you. But the amount of people that are actually interested in the things I do is real limited, and I understand that. You know, you stay in something your whole life. You're not just a person that buys a bunch of radios and knows all the numbers and what year it came out and the dash A, what a dash A means, or a dash B. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that fixed things that everybody else gave up on. And it usually turns out that it was something stupid. And when you start telling them, they start shaking their head. And that was, like I said, I should have learned early on just to say, I'm too busy. And then when they call you on it, tell them to go F themselves, okay? I'm too busy. Well, what are you going to do? You want to go home and watch television. You got a problem with that? That's what I didn't do. I let other people tell me what I should be doing. And that's very bad. Now, I had one neighbor tell me, I was talking to him one day, and he says, you have to stop answering to other people. You know, because that's their game. You know, they make you feel bad, and they make themselves feel better by pointing stuff out to you that you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And the one woman that was screaming at me at a luncheonette that I should be moving to California, that's where all the jobs are, blah, 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 blah. Well, her grandson went out there, and he was going to make big, big money. After 2 weeks, they realized this kid was slow as shit, lazy. They sent him back. They paid for his ticket back. And he showed up, and then she's like, that California ain't that great. Yeah, now it's not great because it didn't work out for your grandson. But I wasn't willing to move, okay? That's why I got myself into some real financial trouble, because I wanted to stay in the house that I grew up in, and in the neighborhood that I grew up in the town that I went to. You know, the schools were all still there, and that was a mistake. But it all worked out because I was willing to bury my pride and put my house up for sale. I didn't wait for the sheriff to come and auction it off and give me what was left over. And I made retirement. It all worked out. But this project right now, it's in the middle stage. We'll call it the middle stage. Like, we're going to come out of here with one signal and convert it and go into this one to see how narrow it makes the signal. That's where you get to. Okay, that's why a lot of you have projects you never finished, because you're at that middle point. Yeah, it ain't that great of an idea. I don't really care. There's real no use for it anymore. Okay, that's what goes through you. And I'm gonna get to it. I just got to get to something else. Now you start the new project that you're not gonna finish. Oh, it's funny stuff, but you would have cried. Most of you would have cried if you saw what I threw out in the garbage. Now, I even threw a good shop vac out. Actually, the guy took it. Somebody took it. I haven't used it. I've been here 12 years. I haven't used the shop vac. I use a broom or I use my Electrolux. Okay? I don't have a shop where I have a shop vac in anymore. I have a rugged baby's room, and the rug is really shot. And that's where I do my projects. And I have my air conditioner. And that's where I'm going to be today, thinking about this project. Should I build this on the solderless proto board? Should I wire this up so at least lights up? Yeah, those are the things. But right now I have to turn the air conditioner back on because this room's getting really hot because of global warming, and no one's going to fix it. I know there's guys out there that still believe there is no global warming. Go tell that to the suckers out west. They finally saw the light. We have no water. It was me. I was the guy that was telling everybody we should have a water grid system. See, which is more important, a grid system for electricity or a grid system for water? Okay, think about that. Okay, and I kept saying they're missing the point. And I used to sit at work and I said, I'm going to tell you right now, there is no water grid system. And certain parts of the country run out of water, other parts get flooded, and you can shift the water over. And you're not going to be able to run factories with the water and feed cows with the water and all that, but you're going to have enough water to flush the toilet and drink. Okay, when things get really bad. Well, now we're at that point. There's areas of the country where, they're going to start bringing water in on trucks, and that's the mistake. Yeah, you see the trucks work. You bring the water in on a truck. You use up petroleum fuel. Okay, you pollute the air and you make global warming even worse. There's a video. I won't reference it. There's a video on the internet that was recommended to me. And the guy explains how you can't fix the problem. There's too many people. There's not enough resources. And you're never going to get world cooperation. Okay? Already the crappy countries, the third world, well, we'll go along with it with global warming procedures as soon as our people are up at the level that yours are at. Okay? So that's right there. Okay? So China is going to continue to make all this crap and pollute the air, and you're not going to stop them, okay? And a war won't fix the problem. Think about it. We're there. We're at the, and I always had this guy that used to call me up, and he would always say, do you think we're going to see the end of the world? And I said, no, I don't think so. But we're seeing, it isn't the beginning of the end. We're already in it, okay? The beginning has gone past. I've seen guys, scientists, they said that we're already past the tipping point. You got a certain amount of population, a certain amount of cows to feed the milk, to make the milk, to feed the people, and they're emitting, they're farting out global gas. What do they call the gases that mess up the atmosphere, and greenhouse gases. Yeah, so it's a pyramid scheme, and the bottom, the people coming in at the bottom aren't going to get what the people at the top had. And that's the way it's going to work. And they knew this from 1920. And when they started conserving the forests, they knew we were screwing everything up. And I don't know, it was Teddy Roosevelt or one of them. They went around saying that we got to preserve these things. And in the last few presidents that we've had, it's okay to drill for oil on these pristine lands where the only good water is. Who cares? It's all about money. It's not going to be fixed. And I'm going to tell you the secret of life is when you get up every morning, you want to do something that you want to do, and you do it. And if you do it and enjoy it, you're beating out those rich people that you worry about. Those rich people get up every morning, and all they're worried about is keeping what they got. So that's one of the secrets of life. Okay? Do what you really want to do. Okay? That's the secret. All right? And if you can, finish your projects. Finish a couple of them. I know you got them. I never got to it. I throw stuff out. You finish projects. I cut a couple wires. I take a couple transformers off. In the garbage. Okay? You saw me on previous videos taking CNC machines apart. In the scrapper. Okay? The aluminum tubing and all that was pre-cut and pre-drilled. That went to the recycling center. Okay? And hopefully it does get remelted. And one more thought. Since the beginning of time, only 9% of the plastic that has been made has been recycled. You can only recycle certain plastics 6 times or something like that, and then it becomes something else. Well, anyway, it's all bullshit. All right, that's it.